So that panorama that you've just seen there, we're going to do an HDR panorama of that now. So that means I'm going to take frames and as a panorama going around, but for each shot I'm going to take 3 different exposures. So in the camera I'm going to set it to do my exposure that's set, 2 stops above and then 2 stops below, and then I'll take those 3 shots, pan the camera around, take another 3, pan around, take another 3, so I can stitch the panorama together as an HDR with 3 different exposures for the whole panorama. And I'm not using a tripod to do it. I've got image stabilization on the lens, and that's enough to do this. So when I get my exposure, what I do is I get my exposure just for the sky, and then when I found the exposure for the sky, I go 2 stops brighter. Yeah, so if I'm at 500th of a second, I'm going to go to 1/125th, so it's 2 stops brighter. That means I know that when I do my bracketing, my 2 stops darker exposure is going to cover the sky, and I'll be okay. And then I'm going to have 4 stops brighter for the ground, and that'll give me everything that I need in RAW. Okay, so let's do this now. So you can see me take this. I'm not using a tripod, I'm just using image stabilization built into the lens. I don't really even need that. As long as you tuck your arms in and keep it steady, you should get it. So once I've got my focus, I'm going to switch to manual focus now on the lens. I'm just going to flip the little switch, and I'll start at the side, and then I'm going to move the camera 2/3 along, so I've got a 1/3 of the frame overlap. The focus is still beeping just because it's in focus, and I just keep going around, trying to keep it as level as possible, taking my exposures. Okay, and that's it, it's done. Simple as that, really. It didn't have to be complicated, and you don't need to have a tripod to do it. As long as you're steady and keep it roughly in line, it'll stitch together just fine. I find I don't often need it. It's nice to have it if you've got it, but sometimes it's easy to just go out just that, and you can explore and walk around a lot more and not be held back so much by a tripod. For me, the only times I tend to use a tripod is when I know that I'm going to need to have very long exposure. So I might still be doing HDR, but I'm going to be doing longer exposures which I can't handhold. For this shot here, I'm not going much slower than 1/125th of a second, so I can handhold that and not have to worry about it.